Hello, and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever, the show where we talk about the worst comic book collection, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Sean, and Jen is not here at the moment because this is just going to be a special episode where we are repurposing a previously unused audio recording of a backup story from Superboy Volume 2, number 39. And we are going to be talking about Dial H for Hero. At the time when we did this comic book, it was back in December, and it just felt superfluous because it was tacked on to the story, to the book, and it was just like, I don't want to, create this gigantic file. It's a lot of work sometimes to edit these episodes and, going through the footage and everything. So we decided just to kind of shelve this half of the comic book. And since we're kind of doing a few things leading into April, into JS April, can't say it right, JS April, which we are participating in, we're going to do this. And then next week, I'm hoping, if everything works out the way it's supposed to, we're going to have a episode we recorded with my brother talking about Guy Gardner Warrior. We did something with video involved as well. So the video might come out at a later point, but at least the audio will be available, and we can, we'll share the video when it's ready, hopefully sooner than later. But this is going to be about Dial H for Hero. It's a very stupid book, stupid story, not for either of us. So if you're a Dial H for Hero fan, then I guess you may not necessarily be enamored with how we refer to your favorite comic. But that being said, here's Dial H for Hero. Enjoy. And there's also a Dial H for Hero story, which we're going to talk about this. We'll talk about real quick.
Yeah.
So Dial H for Hero, basically, you got these two kids.
Are they like brother and sister?
No, they're just separate people.
Oh, separate people?
Yes.
Like brother and sisters are usually separate people.
But
unless they're conjoined.
No, they are not conjoined. They are not related, for all I can tell.
Not related. Not conjoined twins, and also not related.
I confirmed that they are not connected.
Oh, yes.
But they have access to these dials, and they are able to use them to dial themselves into some sort of...
It's like a phone, right?
Yeah, it's like a phone, or it's like on their wrists or something. It's like a dial.
If they literally spell out the word hero, they
hero.
Become a hero. Or
and it's just whatever. It's not. It could be. It's always different each time.
It is?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's wacky.
How do you figure out your powers if they're different each time?
I don't know. Maybe.
Fuck.
In the time that you are changing into this other hero, you're in some sort of nether region where you're learning how to access your powers.
Okay, I dial hero today and I can fly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's my power. And then the next time I do it, I'm a stretchy guy. Like, wouldn't that be like crazy because you like go to fly and your arms would just go like Stretch Armstrong?
I don't know. I don't know, because you know why? Because this is a stupid idea.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's not really for me. Maybe it was for...
I don't like... I remember they tried to bring it back.
They did try to bring it back. I think it was New 52.
It was New 52, and it did not work because it's weird.
Yeah, there's a reason why it didn't work, because it's silly.
Well, I mean, maybe they had...
Not good silly.
Maybe they had consistent powers in the new one. I never read it.
We have started off real quick. There's somebody stealing collectibles from a house or some sort.
Oh no, babe! Somebody broke into your toy room.
That's right. They're stealing my Guy Gardner action figures.
Yes, I'm sure those are very big men.
They might go up in value recently.
They might.
But it just happens that this villain or this person that's stealing stuff is leaving little clues, including a cigarette.
Yes.
And a contact lens.
This is, back when everybody smoked everywhere.
Yeah.
It's 1983. So why wouldn't you smoke while committing crime?
They didn't have smoke detectors back then.
No, they had nothing. Everything was yellow because everything had a coating of nicotine on it.
If you were around the 80s, you don't know how gross everything was.
I have literally seen like TikToks and tweets and stuff from people who don't have any recollection of they were born after smoking was banned everywhere. And they're like, what do you mean? Did people really smoke at McDonald's? Yeah, dude, they really fucking did. Oh, yeah. My mom used to sit there and smoke at McDonald's. Are you kidding?
You had an ashtray and a quarter pounder. That's how you lived life.
Absolutely. You could smoke on a fucking airplane.
You could smoke in a hospital.
Yeah.
That's
sure
you could smoke everywhere, dude.
Yeah, people they're like, no, that wasn't real. And like, yeah, no, it really was. It was terrible.
Yeah, they weren't fucking around.
Nope.
But the story's called Beyond a Shadow of a Doubt. We get police in here. Gregory King, who is the father of one of these characters, Christopher. He comes in and there's kind of assessing the situation. They determine that there's a button that has the initials FP on it. There's also a cigarette butt, which just happens to be an imported Turkish cigarette, which they determine
only one person smokes.
Yeah, because apparently one person smokes, but with that specific brand. And this guy's such a infamous criminal. His name is Frank Perkins,
yes,
aka Istanbul Frankie.
Because he smokes that cigarette?
Or because maybe he's from Turkey. He's Turkish, and that's where he gets those. Those are his cigarettes.
Is that okay? Yeah, all right. I don't believe we discussed that.
Not really. We don't really. There's not really a whole lot about this. I mean, it's just a backup story, so who cares?
And the girl has some sort of power where she can fly.
Well, we're getting to this here. So real quick, though, these kids, Christopher, his father, whose father is the detective, they're sitting at the table and he's talking about, he's like, man, I wish Dad was here because Dad was telling us the story about how he scored the touchdown in the Pilgrim Bowl.
Yeah, so he must be Al Bundy.
He's like an Al Bundy kind of thing here. And the mother's like, oh, how do you believe, this is, you love that story. You know it back and forth. And
4 touchdowns in a single game.
There's a brother there. He's like, dude, you know that shit backwards and forwards. And the mother's like, hey, your father's working hard. But that has nothing to do with the story, him knowing a stupid story.
No, of course it doesn't. No.
So anyways, they go out and they go to this bus stop. This is where he meets up with this other girl, Victoria Grant. She's the other girl.
Yes.
And
don't seem to like each other very much.
They're not. Yeah, they don't really know each other, but they're connected because of this dial or whatever. We do find out though that, because they do mention this in the book, that if you could write in and send in like your designs
for outfits.
I don't know though if we're referring to this outfit that Vicky is wearing. This girl, if she's just her regular like outfit before she turns into.
That's a really great question. Yeah. It does not specify,
because it's 2 separate things here, where one outfit was designed by one guy, then the actual superheroes were designed by another guy.
Yeah,
I do like it though, because Christopher is in the football game and they're giving him shit. He's like, oh, he's coming for pick up this bus to go to this game. We're gonna lose the game now. The other dude there is like, hey, why don't you go suck on your socks, Brad?
Suck on your socks?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That reminds me of the
Eat Shouldn't Live.
Yeah, Eat Shouldn't Live. Also reminds me of an episode of Ren and Stimpy where they're on one of those space ones, and they end up on a planet. It's covered in sweat socks.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
And like Stimpy is like sucking on one. It's gross. It's always crack me up though.
You know what? Ren and Stimpy. I don't know how that got on TV.
I haven't gone back and watched it, but I do know it's quite the adventure.
Yes.
Back in 1940, 8 sensational heroes united to create the world's very first superhero team, the Justice Society of America. Now, 85 years later, we're gathering podcasters and bloggers from around the globe for a month-long celebration in an event we're calling JS April. Throughout April 2025, join dozens of content creators as they each share their own unique tributes to the original and greatest superhero team, including all-star podcasters and bloggers like
Justice Society presents
the Longbox Crusade podcast,
Campus Comics Cast,
Supergirl Comic Box Commentary,
the Quarter Bin Podcast,
the Bat Pod,
the Earth 2 Podcast, FW Team Up,
Diana Prince is the new Wonder Woman,
Fanholes Podcast,
Back to the Bins,
Coffee and Comics,
the Huntress Podcast,
*51.blogspot.com,
Justice Society Origins, a part of John Reed's Comics,
DC Specialcast,
Between the Pages blog,
The Outcasters, a Batman and the Outsiders podcast,
A World on Fire, an All-Star Squadron podcast,
JLA Stories and Friends,
The Monitor Tapes,
a Crisis on Infinite Earths podcast,
Lords of Order, a DC's Dr. Fate fan podcast,
David M. Gallagher at Medium.com,
JSA in the 90s,
Justice League Legacies,
DC Secret Files podcast,
Mike's Geek World,
Pop Culture Affidavit,
the Source Material Comics podcast,
That Giffen Show,
Worst Collection Ever,
The Fantastic Four.
It all comes back to Superman.
And that's just some of the podcasters and bloggers who'll be joining in the celebration. Get ready for a thrilling month of beloved characters, fascinating insights, and incredible stories. Follow the action on social media with the hashtag JSApril, and visit our website for a complete list of participating podcasters, bloggers, and what they're each covering at fireandwaterpodcast.com/JSApril.
Superman. Oh, no, fuck that. I wish Superman was here.
Yeah, no.
So there's a guy there that...
He can't be bothered to hang out with these kids.
Yeah, fuck. He's like, these fucking nerds.
I'm sorry. I only hang out with heavy hitters, and you guys are not heavy hitters.
No, but there's a guy at this bus stop who drew a hero. Like, he just sketched something, and there is a team called Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
And one's, it's the immovable force, or irresistible force and the immovable object. The bus shows up. The bus is out of control.
Oh, no.
The brakes are somehow get cut or something happens. And the two kids are like, hey, we should use our secret dials to whatever. Because one kid's got a necklace. The other one's got like a wristwatch.
Sure.
And so they
do it. But is this this must be before? Because there's a part where it's like, oh, I can't undo it unless you undo it at the same time.
Yeah, this is before that.
Okay. So apparently she can fly. Well, and he seems to have super speed.
They turned into this rock and roll duo that this kid drew somehow.
So you just like become...
It just that's the luck of the draw. They just turned into something. She, and Vicky...
Man, that could go so wrong. And also could be shitty. What if you got a shitty power?
Yeah, what if you're like one of those mutants that have like really like a Morlock, like a real like
if you're like a fucking
debilitating power.
Yeah, if you're a Morlock or like your power is just really stupid. It's like, I don't know.
What if your arm fall off, boy?
Yes. What if your arm fall off, boy?
Like, how are you going to stop this bus if your arm fall off, boy?
100%. Or like there was that Family Guy where they all got powers, and Meg's powers where her nails kind of grew.
Yeah.
Like, what if you get that power? What are you going to do to that bus?
Yeah, you can do nothing. You just fucking scratch it and break a nail.
Exactly.
But this girl, though, her outfit is like Black Canary, but like with titties out.
Oh, yeah.
It's something.
What if you're Bawana Beast? Like, get Bawana Beast powers?
Yeah, you'd have to like really think about that.
But that's what I mean. Like,
that's a pretty complicated power.
How he figured it out in the first place.
Yeah, right.
And then you're supposed to figure it out in like, I don't know, 2 minutes before this bus smashes everybody.
Right. So the girl, I don't know which one she is, whatever. Vicky, was called her Vicky. Sure. Vicky stands in front of the bus. She's like, I'm going to stop this bus because I have my immovable body. And she's like, and the other guy's like, no, you'll probably concave it.
Yeah.
It'll implode and it'll explode and everybody will die.
Mm-hmm.
So the solution is this other guy uses his super speed. Christopher uses his super speed to kind of like
create a vortex.
No, not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
He just stops the bus with like his speed just kind of like slows down and the bus stops. And now they're like, well, we need to get this bus to the Pilgrim Bowl.
Because my dad has to go score 4 touchdowns in a single game.
Yeah, my dad's gonna come out of retirement and he's gonna be like, you know what? These guys ain't getting the job done. I feel like that probably could have happened at a high school game in my thing.
I feel like that's kind of like a premise for like a Jim Belushi movie.
Yeah, right.
Or like an Adam Sandler movie.
Adam Sandler, also starring Zac Efron for some reason.
Yeah, well, Zac Efron's like the cool guy who he wants to be friends with.
Yeah.
Or like the new quarterback, and then fucking Adam Sandler's 50-whatever-year-old ass wanders out with his huge shorts.
Oh, it's like a Dial H for Hero, but he uses it to get powers to win football games for high school teams?
No, this is basically just like Billy Madison, and now he has to, instead of graduating high school, he has to win the game.
But my idea was that it's in the spur of the moment where the parent or the individual is like, I can help the team win the game. And they come out of the crowd and put their pads on and then go and compete.
Maybe Kevin Costner can make that for boomers. Because I feel like that's kind of what we're looking at. That's kind of like, I made Yellowstone.
Yellowstone's just... Yeah.
Which is just fantasy fodder for boomers. Now, I'm going to make this where it's just like some random 78-year-old comes out and like wins the big game over these
at one point
these whippersnappers.
Because at one point he did really well in football.
When he was in high school.
But that means he still got it.
Oh, 100%.
That's the movie. Still got it.
It's basically 80 for Brady. Like,
but dudes actually, 80-year-old dudes actually coming out and playing in the game.
Or Wild Hogs could be one.
Yeah.
Was it Old Dogs?
Old Dogs.
Old Dog, that's another one. It could be any of those. Tommy Lee Jones is in this movie.
Tommy Lee Jones is 100% in this movie.
And he's getting tackled by probably a young fat guy. And he's he's screaming in the Tommy Lee Jones way.
Oh my God, I'm dying here. Oh my God, I'm dead. Tommy Lee Jones. Ah!
Yeah, and everybody's laughing.
I'm laughing.
Yeah, I'm laughing.
Hey, that guy's dying.
Somebody saved Tommy Lee Jones.
Somebody reattached his leg. All his limbs fell off when he got hit.
I mean, he's really lucky he has a fake hip because we could just pop that back into place.
That's like a Lego thing, right? You just kind of set that back into place.
When you're old, you're a Lego person.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you become arm fall off boy, just put it back together.
Anyways, so they need to get this bus to the Pilgrim Bowl. But one's trying to do the hero thing backwards or whatever, because that's how you get out.
Yeah.
But they can't undial for whatever reason. So because
I guess they have to do it together or something, and the other one doesn't want to.
So the solution is that the speedster guy, Christopher, is going to do something to get this bus over there. But in order to stall time, Victoria is going to do a magic show.
She's going to do close-up magic.
She's going to do bus magic.
Yeah, close-up magic.
By taking a bunch of rocks and crushing them and
making them into a giraffe.
And transmuting them into statues.
Basically melting steel and making it into things.
Right. Which apparently is also part of this girl's power. About this power this week. So not only she has a dense body, but she can also take standard stone materials, minerals or whatever, and transmute them into balloon, like she's doing balloon animal.
She could probably get us into the Magic Castle.
Oh, 100%.
In LA.
Yeah.
She's definitely got a membership because that's just some close-up magic. That's all that is. That's just sleight of hand shit.
She's going to be on the Chris Angel show sometime soon.
Constantine's really mad. He's smoking in the back.
So I just like this panel here where she's like, all right, it's a hippopotamus. And then she's like, and then I'm just going to stretch it. And it just says,
but it's in her mouth?
No, it's her hand coming up. Is
that her hand? It looks like her mouth from here. It looks like she's biting the claw.
It does look like she grew giant teeth to bite this thing. She's like, I can use my mouth.
I don't know what her powers are.
So here's the thing. This is a bus full of teenage football players and cheerleaders.
How does she not get eaten alive?
I don't know. I mean, clearly she's on this bus just doing crazy things with rocks. And they're like, what the fuck is happening?
Even in 1983, if somebody walked onto a bus full of teenagers and said, I'm going to do magic, that person would be beaten into a pulp.
You would get murdered with a textbook.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. They're going to use you as a football. They're going to smash her into
superpower. You can be turned into a football. We're going to kick you around.
Yeah, they're going to smash her into a ball and just toss her back and forth.
Because the brakes are cut, so they need to get this bus. And so essentially, this is where they do the vortex thing.
Yeah, he runs and it sucks the bus and she picks it up and flies.
Yeah, and they bring it to the game, and the son does really well. Hope my dad's watching. He scores a last-minute touchdown, and then we jump back to his father. They're talking about this, hey, we're trying to pin this on this Frankie guy, Sybil Frankie. And he's like, well, he can't be because he was in an auto accident last week. He's a traction.
Okay.
So he's not there. But now we just have this other guy, this shadow dude.
Yeah, I don't know what
or Silhouette, I think his name is.
Sure. He's wearing the Zentai suit. Just a black one.
He's wearing a Zentai suit and a toga.
And a toga.
And he somehow is manipulating the father into doing something.
There's also the 2001 monolith thingy.
Yeah, that I don't understand.
And it's glowing.
Also, there's a skull with just a single eyeball in it.
Oh, nice. That hasn't decayed yet.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's just rotting skeletons in this place. And that's just how this ends.
That's just how it ends.
The Coils car-napping caper is the next issue. I can give two shits about it.
I do not I'm not a Dial H for Hero person.
I'm not any of these guys.
Yeah, it's not for me.
This is for little kids. If you want little kids to feel good about comics, this is what you do.
You let them read Dial H for Hero.
You Dial H for Hero, and you go, "Hey, yay! Super different heroes. I ain't got no attention span."
Right?
It's just I think I hate it more than I hate Vibe.
Oh yeah, I hate Vibe.
Here's the thing. I don't dislike Vibe as much now as I used to.
Oh, yeah.
Only because I feel like when I was because I would see some of those posts pop up on me putting pictures of like Vibe getting attacked or something, and me be like, ah, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh man, that he didn't really deserve that.
Poor Vibe.
Because it's not his fault that they wrote him to be a stereotype.
Well, they tried to bring him back, I think, during the New 52. Didn't he have a book?
He might have had a book.
But it did not last very long.
He was there for he was in one of the groups for a minute. And I
thought he had a book.
I think he died too. Or something. Or maybe
probably.
something. There's something going on. He was back for a minute though.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Thanks for listening, everybody. You could find us on our social media channels at Angry Hero Sean and at Jen Stansfield, respectively. And you can also check us out on YouTube. Angry Hero 79 is my channel, but if you check our link here, the link in the description, you'll see that there is a link that takes you directly to a weekly updating playlist on YouTube that you can listen to the podcast over there. And of course, usual channels, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your shows, it's available. And please rate and review us anywhere you can. We would really appreciate it. And of course, worstcollectionever@gmail.com is where we want to hear from you. I wish more people emailed us just because I like to hear dissenting opinions about some of the books we talk about. Because we really go in on stuff, I think, sometimes. And I want to antagonize my audience. Not really. Anyways, Jen and I are very grateful for you, though, regardless. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you again next time.